Hello, guys. And if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too? Today's story comes from hopeful_claim_2029. Title of the story: My girlfriend F24 cheated on me M25 with 5 different guys. Story: So I feel like I'm in need of some advice. I've been scrolling through Reddit, lurking around posts similar to my situation, but just wanted to get my exact situation down and see what the people thought. My story starts as I got a new job in a predominantly female field. I am a fairly attractive male, so naturally, I got a good bit of female attention. There were 2 girls especially interested in me, and one of them made it very known at another coworker's house, as she kept coming up to me, touching me, talking with me, and basically sitting on my lap. Let's call her Ashley. Well, the other girl who I was more interested in just sat on the couch as the night went on. Let's call her Tiffany. I made no moves towards Ashley, despite her being all over me. Later that night, Tiffany called another guy to come pick her up to go bang. This did not feel the best for me, but at the same time her Ashley was all over me. So I didn't want to make a move on Tiffany to cause turbulence in the workplace. Fast forward a couple of weeks, and we're out to dinner with all of our coworkers, and I end up taking Tiffany home, and we have sex. It was great sex on both ends. This turns into a friends with benefits situation, which I'm happy with. I'm not trying to really get tied down or anything, so we start having sex a couple times a week, and it's good and it's fun, and I'm not feeling too emotionally attached, but I do like spending time with her, and as time goes on, I start to feel more and more attached, and I feel like she does too, asking me to hang out quite often. People at work start to ask when we're going to make it official, and this and that, and I had been pretty exclusive to this girl this entire time. I just really liked her and was starting to get strong feelings for her. I realized that I could probably get away with stuff since we weren't official, but I didn't really want to, and I did have a feeling that she was up to other stuff. Hookups, but again can't really hold it against her. You know, I had sketchy vibes a couple times, but it does seem like she genuinely really likes me. Then one day she was out at the bar and just completely ignores me. We usually Snapchat on average about every 5 minutes. So this strikes me as odd, but we share location. So I just keep checking on her location, and it's at the bar. It's at the bar all night. This was on a Sunday night, and I wake up in the morning and I check her location, and it's at a random house. So I screenshot this location. Then she didn't come into work the next day and turned off her location as well. I got the screenshot around 7:30 in the morning. She turned off her location around 10 in the morning, which enhanced the situation, made me feel worse about it. So I saved the evidence and put it on the back burner and decided, I'm just going to cool it, and I'm not going to push anything about this because we're not dating, but I don't think I'm going to date her unless she shows me that she's not really messing around or anything, and that I could trust her. I asked her, I said, "Where were you last night? What happened last night?" And she tells me, "I went to the bar with Jess, and I stayed over her house." So I said, okay, and that was that. Fast forward 2 months from this incident, and we're lying in bed, and she asked me, "When are we going to make things official?" To which I reply, "Well, I feel like we need to have a conversation first because I have some questions about some things that happened." I ask her if she has gotten with anybody in the time that we've been together, and she states she hasn't. I took that at face value and believed it, or told her I believed it. I thought the fact that she gave up nothing was definitely sketchy and made me worry that there was a lot more than I thought. A few days go by with my mind still bothering me about this because things are getting serious and I'm having strong feelings for her, and I want to figure out what's going on. Then we were randomly talking about her friend Jess and how she had stayed at her house recently. So I casually asked where she lived. Tiffany then stated that Jess lived in a different town than the house that her location stated she was at the morning. After that night, she went to the bar. This was done over text, and as soon as she said the name of the town that she wasn't in that night, I called her up and asked what happened that night you went to the bar and where did you stay? And she told me she stayed at her Jess's house, and I said, "Please be honest with me. I really like you, and I know that you really like me, so please just be honest. You asked when I was going to make it official, and I want to make it official, so I need you to be honest with me." She said, "I stayed at Jess's house. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't believe you don't believe me." This went on for about 20 minutes, back and forth on the phone, both of us yelling, and then I sent her a screenshot of her location that morning, to which she replied, "I don't know what that is." I stayed at my Jess's house. This continued for another 25 minutes before she finally admitted that some guy had come up to her at the bar, and she went home with him. She claimed that they only made out. I don't know how much of that is true or not true. But as you could speculate at this point, my trust was waning. However, I thanked her for telling me. I then asked her if there's anything else I should know about. She said no, and I said, "I just really want to know how many people you've hooked up with, or when you were hooking up with them. And so that way I know at least I can trust you, and it's perfectly fine if you were hooking up with other people, because we weren't in a committed relationship, but I just want to see if I can trust you." This went on for a while, and she just kept saying no, and I knew there was more things, so I kept pressing her. I reached out to one of her friends who notified me that she had had sex with another guy, and then I heard through the grapevine that she had sex with another guy, so that's two guys that I had hard evidence for, so I kept pushing her, and I said, "If you're completely honest with me, we can just date. But if not, I don't see how I can ever trust you." I kept pushing and pushing, and she didn't tell me a single thing. So finally I dropped one of the names, and I said, "What about Joe Schmo?" She was very surprised. She denied it for about 15 minutes, while I had to squeeze it out of her, and then she finally admitted to having intercourse with him. I had one more guy in my ammunition, so I asked her again. I said, "Okay, thank you for telling me. Please be completely honest with me now. Is there anything else that you need to tell me? Because I think this is going to have to be your last chance to be honest with me. Otherwise, I don't think I can do this." And I keep saying this and saying this, knowing that there's the other guy. I was saying this for about 20 minutes in between her silence or her going, "I don't know what else you want me to say. There's nothing else." Finally, she goes, "Okay, I was fucking my ex in the beginning." And I go, "I get it was the beginning of the relationship. We didn't know what we were. We weren't exclusive by any means. We never had that talk." Sadly, her ex was not the name I was given, so I pressed on further. "Is there anything else you need to tell me? Is there anything else you need to tell me? Please tell me just the whole truth. And then we can put this whole thing behind us." And I truly meant this. I proceeded to throw out the other name that I have. She responds with, "What about him?" To which I reply, "You tell me." And she states, "Oh, he's so-and-so's friend." And I go, "Did you fuck him?" She replies, "Yes, but I forgot. I'm not going to lie." I was pretty backed by this that when I dropped his name, she still tried defending herself, saying what about him as somehow I didn't know when I knew his name. So again I say, if there is anything else you need to tell me, please let me know so we can get through this, and I said it over and over again. After about 10 minutes, she came clean about a name on her own, but I knew roughly about it. One day she showed up late till one of our co-workers' dinners, and I saw that her location was in the city, which was odd. So this point it was in the back of my mind in hindsight, and she knew that, which is why I feel like she admitted to it. But at this point I didn't know what to do because she had lied to me so many times, and I told her, "This is your last chance to come out about everything and to be honest with you." I'm still not sure if she told me everything. I'm just not sure what I'm supposed to do. I really like this girl, and I do believe that she really likes me. However, lying about her other relationships during our time together hurts me. Although I wouldn't classify it as cheating, it does feel as if I was cheated on, and to make things worse, the lying about the cheating hurts more. I understand that this was probably to not lose me rather than to hurt me, but it still hurts. She got in a car accident a few months ago, and I drove 3 hours there to pick her up and another 3 hours back home. Come to find out she had sex with another guy 2 nights before I went to pick her up, and a week after I picked her up. I then proceeded to drive her into work every day for 3 months after the fact because she didn't have a vehicle. So I felt, although it hadn't been said, it was a sort of mutual agreement, or I at least hoped that there was between us that things were serious. We had a big talk last night, and she stated she had been truthful about everything and nothing else came up, though she does seem like a master liar manipulator, which is as scary as it is admirable. I can say heartedly that I do not necessarily trust what she's saying about the time we spent together, but at the same time I don't believe that it matters so much at this point. I asked to see her phone after I got everything out of her just to see. And to my pleasant surprise, her phone was clean. She hadn't been talking to anyone or doing anything the past 2 months. It seems to me like perhaps she was just messing around until things got serious. Although all of her text messages were also deleted because she had to factory reset her phone a week before. This is shady timing. But I do believe it was for a reason, however. I do wish those messages were still on there. I know this is a lot to read, but I would greatly appreciate any advice. I understand I may be overreacting to what happened. I also understand that I might be a fool to get into a committed relationship with this girl. Extra points. She was the one who suggested we shared locations. Very possessive and would get mad when I talked to other females at work. Not a bad thing. Thank you for taking the time to read. Story, comment 1. Suspect_alarming. I didn't even have to read the entire thing. She looked you in the face and lied. There is your answer. You have the opportunity to walk away now that you know who she is, or you can believe that she has changed. It is going to hurt really bad when you find out she lied to you again. She is going to fuck around and you are going to find out. Story, comment 2. Llama Lord 69,420. Everyone on Reddit just tells people to leave their spouse over anything. While your situation is a little messy ATM, if you see potential there, you never know what could happen. Best of luck, brother. Story. Comment 3. Sarcastic_troll. It's a red flag to me to share location like that, on whoever's end, especially when you aren't dating. That's weird. I think you need to work on boundaries. It's none of your business who she slept with. You weren't exclusively dating. You referred to it as cheating in your title, so you see it as cheating. It's not. And you're trusting rumors and conjecture about if she even slept with PPL. You need to take a step back here and really put into perspective what this was between you two. If she doesn't want you to know something, she doesn't want you to know. You kind of bullying her to get it out doesn't bode well for your future here. I think you both aren't ready for whatever this is. It's too messy and too many boundaries got crossed here between the both of you. Story, update. Thank you guys, I'm very touched by your comments. I don't feel lonely. My girlfriend and I have taken a timeout in our relationship for 3-4 months, initiated by me. And I'm going to therapy to better understand myself and feel more confident about my future life.
Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Gratitude and much love.